So today, we are truly making one of the most incredible recipes that hail from Spain. We're talking a 3-ingredient chocolate cake that comes together in about 15 minutes and requires no oven. This is known here in Spain as una tarta de chocolate de la abuela. And let me tell you, it's got such a beautiful mouth-watering flavor to it. It's above and beyond easy to make, and it's made with 3 very simple basic ingredients that everybody can easily find, folks. This is an episode you do not want to miss. Let's begin by adding in 1.5 cups of milk into a saucepan, which is 355 milliliters. Now the milk that I'm using is 2% fat, but you can use whole fat or even non-fat, or you can even substitute the regular milk for any plant-based milk you like. And we'll heat it with a medium-high heat. While the milk is warming up, let's get our chocolate ready. I have 2 bars of chocolate here. These are 250 grams each for a total of 500 grams or 17.5 ounces. I'm going to cut each bar of chocolate into smaller chunks. That way when we add it into the warm milk, it melts much faster. Now the chocolate that I'm using is a dark chocolate that's 52% cacao. You can use whatever chocolate you want, but this one right here adds the perfect balance of sweetness and flavor to this beautiful chocolate cake. Once the milk comes to a light boil, you can see little bubbles starting to form on the outer edges. I'm going to lower the fire to a low-medium heat and start adding the pieces of chocolate into the hot milk. And we'll start whisking everything together. We're going to do this between 2 to 3 minutes. This is enough time for all that chocolate to fully melt and to end up with a beautiful creamy chocolate sauce that has no lumps in it. After about 3 minutes, and you end up with a beautiful creamy chocolate sauce that has no lumps in it, I'm going to turn off the heat and let it sit here at room temperature. For the next step of the recipe, let's get our baking pan ready. I'm using a round baking pan. The size of this one is 8 inches in diameter, which is about 20 centimeters. I'm going to line it with some parchment paper, and as you can see, this is one of those baking pans that you can open up. That way you can easily remove the cake once it's done, but you can also use a standard baking pan for this cake. And I'm going to coat the inside of the baking pan with some non-stick cooking spray just to ensure that the cake doesn't stick to the baking pan. Alright, let's start assembling our cake. I'm going to add in 1 cup of milk into a shallow bowl, which is about 240 milliliters. And we're going to soak our 3rd and final ingredient in this milk, which is cookies. I'm using galletas Maria. These are very popular cookies here in Spain. They have a great flavor to them, and they're not too sweet. You'll find a link where you can get some in the description box below. However, you can use whatever cookies you want to make this cake. The secret here is to coat 1 cookie at a time, giving it between 6 to 8 turns in the milk. That we can absorb the milk but not get mushy. And as you finish coating each cookie in the milk, transfer it into the baking pan, making sure they're all in a single layer. Once your first layer of cookies are in the baking pan, grab the reserved chocolate sauce and add some over the cookies. You don't want to add too much chocolate sauce here, just enough to fully cover those cookies. And remember to be gentle as you're mixing the chocolate sauce, that way you don't break the cookies apart. And continue to assemble your cake in this exact same method until it's done. With the amount of chocolate sauce we're using, we're going to end up adding 7 layers of cookies. Once the cake has been fully assembled, I'm going to cover it with some saran wrap and add it into the fridge between 3 to 4 hours. That way that chocolate can really harden up and the cake doesn't fall apart when you cut into it. Or you can even add it into the freezer between 30 to 45 minutes. After about 4 hours, I'm going to remove the chocolate cake from the fridge. Gently remove the cake from the baking pan. If you see that your cake is stuck to your baking pan, no big deal. Just run a paring knife through the outer edges to release it from the baking pan. And check it out, our 3-ingredient Spanish chocolate cake is done. Tarta de chocolate de la abuela. You saw this, so easy to make, about 15 minutes to put together, and it has such an incredible presentation. Let's give it a try and see how it tastes. I seriously cannot wait to try this. Here we go. You know, I'm not really a big fan of sweets, but this chocolate cake is so good. Folks, you saw this, just 3 ingredients, 15 minutes to put it together, try it at home. You are not gonna believe how good it is. Really quick before I go, a shout out to a couple of my patrons, Robert Jefferson, aka the Kamakura Gardener, Martin John Madsen, Jesper Halloum, and Jim Owens. Again guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. For the rest of you, if you're not with me on Patreon, consider becoming one, as it really helps with ingredients and equipment to continue making videos like this. You'll find my Patreon link in the description box below and iCard above. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that like button, leave me a comment below, and if you're not subscribed, you know what to do. Smash that subscribe button. Till the next time, hasta luego.